Hello everybody, my YouTube subscribers, and to those of you who this may be your first time on my YouTube channel, I am Vivian Lord. I am an author and a poet, evangelist, minister, whatever you want to call me. But I wrote this book, and it's called In the Sandbox. And this book is a book that talks about uncomfortable touch or uncomfortable feeling, or when someone makes you feel kind of not the way you should be feeling. That's what this book is about. So I'm going to read it to my school-age children here at A Blessed Child 2. So I hope that you enjoy this book, and I believe that they will. And some of them have already read the book. So I'm going to read it again so that the other kids can understand what's going on also. So I really appreciate you looking at this video. And you know, we've been going through this pandemic, we've been quarantined, so much has been going on. Kids has been at home unusually because school is normally in. Different people are babysitting or whatever the case may be. You never know what's going on, but this book talks about teaching your children to tell when they feel uncomfortable. So thank you, and thank you for listening. Okay, guys. The name of this book is In the Sandbox. Can y'all say that?
In the Sandbox.
And the author is who? Vivian Lloyd. That's the author, Vivian Lloyd. Okay? So I'm going to start reading. I'm going to show you the pictures also as I read the story. Okay. Lorianne, 6, and Annalise, 7, love to play in the large sandbox that Lorianne's dad finally finished building. They have so many toys in the sandbox. They didn't think they would ever get a chance to play with all of them. Jackson, 9, and his friend Kenny, 10, asked if they could come play. There were 2 boys from the neighborhood. They were very comfortable with sharing the new sandbox. Lorianne, her mom called, it's time to come for dinner. Well, Annalise, I have to go in now. My mom is calling for me to come in for dinner. Okay, Lorianne, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, said Lorianne. Annalise, Jackson, and his friend Kenny continued to play. Annalise, called her mom, it's time to come in. It's dinner time. I have to go, said Annalise. See you tomorrow. Okay, said Jackson and Kenny. Tomorrow. Jackson said, Kenny. Yes, answered Jackson. Be sure you come to the sandbox tomorrow. I have a plan. What? Asked Jackson. Don't worry. The girls will like it. The boys discussed their plan and couldn't wait until the next day. They left the sandbox. The next day, Lorianne and Annalise met at the sandbox. Jackson and Kenny came too. The boys came to the sandbox but didn't seem to want to play with the sand. But they began to play with the girls in an uncomfortable way. The girls looked at each other. They looked at the boys. They looked at each other again. Then decided to leave the sandbox. During the night, the girls tossed and they turned, wondering how to handle the uncomfortable feeling. The next day, the girls didn't go to the sandbox because of the uncomfortable feeling they felt while the boys was in the sandbox with them. How did you feel about what Jackson and Kenny did yesterday? Asked Lorianne. They weren't sure what had happened or even why, but they knew it wasn't right. They knew it wasn't right in what they were feeling. Do you think we should tell our parents? Asked Lorianne. Yes, answered Annalise, we should. Lorianne and Annalise asked their parents to meet at Annalise's house because they had something very important to tell them. The girls told their parents. Their parents told Jackson and Kenny's parents, and the problem was resolved. Telling someone about your uncomfortable feeling is always the right thing to do. You gotta always tell people about your uncomfortable feeling. And at the end of the story, I have tell, T-E-L-L, which actually is supposed to be a hashtag, then tell. But that's what it is. You're supposed to tell. So in this book, also I have vocabulary words. And I want you guys to help me if you know what these words mean. Okay. What do you think neighborhood means? Raise your hand. What do you think neighborhood is? Serenity?
Somewhere like where you live and have your houses that has a neighborhood.
And who else? Are you the only one in that neighborhood?
No, it's other people.
Other people in the neighborhood, the place, the area where you live, and other people live there too. Okay, can someone tell me what continued mean? Continue. Scholar. Continue means what?
You do something over and over again.
Okay, very good. What does disgust mean? Disgust means you did what, Tyson?
Talk about it.
Talked about it. Talked about it. That's a really, really good word. What does uncomfortable, Daria?
In a weird way.
Feeling in a weird way, not feeling right. Okay? What does decide mean? Decide, Jacoby. To choose. Okay. Wondering. What does wondering? If you're wondering. What does wondering? You know, Andrea, your hands up. You thinking? Okay, you can think about it. Wondering. Who I didn't call. Okay. Tyson.
When you're curious about something.
Yes, very good. Okay, what does important mean? Important. Important.
Something very good.
Yes, something good, something special. Very good. Okay, London.
It is when somebody's feeling in a good way when it's good.
Okay, thank you for adding that, Kingston.
Something that is really serious.
Okay, something really serious, important. What does resolve mean? Resolve. What is resolve? Christina? Who knows what resolve means? Resolve means to do what?
To let it go.
To do what?
Let it go. To keep going? No. To like solve it?
Kingston?
To turn something bad into something good.
To fix it, yes. That's very good. Aurora. What she said?
to fix something.
Okay, I didn't hear it. Gotta be loud. Miss Vivian got a loud mouth, so you gotta be loud so I can hear you. Okay. What about the word feelings? Wait, what does the word feelings mean? Scholar?
Something that you're feeling inside you.
Okay, it's an emotion that you feel on the inside of you, in your mind, in your spirit. Very good. Okay, anybody have any questions about the book? And I'm going to show a page, and I want you to tell me what you think about that page or what you learned about this book. What did you learn about this book?
That is a book about singing.
About what?
Singing.
What you said?
Sand.
Sand?
Sand.
Sharing? Okay.
Oh, the girls shared the sandbox.
Right, they were sharing in the sandbox. She shared the sandbox with her friends. Okay, can somebody tell me what happened? What do you think about what happened in the sandbox? What do you think about what happened while they played in the sandbox? What do you think about what happened? Kingston?
They did some negative things.
Some negative things happened in the sandbox. Okay, some negative things, and when something negative happens, how did that make you feel when something negative happens? Jacoby?
Weird.
Makes you feel kind of weird when something happens. That's how they felt when they were in the sandbox. Okay? So when the girls left the sandbox, how do you think they were feeling when they left the sandbox? Serenity?
I think they, when they left the sandbox, the boys touched them.
Huh?
When they left the sandbox after the boys touched them.
So what, okay, she said they left the sandbox after the boys touched them, which is good. But she said touched them. What else could have been, what else negative could have happened in the sandbox besides being touched? What else could have went on? What do you think maybe went on besides being touched? What else you think? London?
They could have did something to them.
Okay, what do you think, Scholar?
I think they said wrong words.
Okay, wrong words could have been said. Very good. Wrong words, wrong touch. What else? What else do you think could have been going on in the sandbox? Christina? Good try. Thanks for trying. What else? What else?
Nasty words.
They could have been saying bad words or wrong words like she was saying. Or to me, I was thinking maybe bullying. You know, bullying makes people feel uncomfortable too. And bullying makes people feel like, you know, make a person feel like they're not right. Teasing, very good. So we don't want to bully. We don't want to touch anybody in an uncomfortable way. Because not only sometimes do adults touch kids in an uncomfortable way, sometimes kids touch kids in an uncomfortable way. But we don't want to do that. We do not want to do that. So we don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. And if somebody make you feel uncomfortable, what are you supposed to do?
Tell.
You're supposed to do what, everybody? Tell. You're supposed to tell. So if you feel like, well, I can't tell my mom or my dad or whoever you may be living with, you still need to be sure that somebody is making you feel uncomfortable. Because you don't want to go to school every day and you're being bullied every day and you're not telling your parent that somebody is bullying you. Because if you're a student that make all A's, all B's or whatever, and all of a sudden your grades start going down because you're worried about being bullied when you get to school, then that's not a good thing. So you got to be sure you don't hold this stuff down on the inside of you. You need to tell. If anybody, it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's a next door neighbor, or if it's a friend, or if it's an uncle, or brother, a cousin, or daddy, a woman, a man, it doesn't matter. If they make you feel uncomfortable, then you need to tell. You know why? Because your body is your body. Your body is your body, and nobody is supposed to touch you anywhere on your body that they should not be touching you. Do y'all understand that? Yes, and you need to know that you always need to find a teacher, a policeman, somebody to tell, because you don't want to be growing up still thinking about what bad happened to you. You gotta say something. And like I said, I don't care if it's bullying, I don't care if it's bad words. I don't know what these boys could have been saying, like I think Jacoby was saying, could have just been saying bad words. Or I don't know, they might have touched him on the head, touched him on the leg, touched him somewhere that made them feel, oh no, this should not be. But the girls were really, really worried about it, and they wanted to do something about it. And at first they were wondering if they should tell. And it was a good thing that they decided to tell. Never, ever, ever just hold stuff in. Always let things out, because it'll make you a healthier person as an adult. It'll make you a happier person when you let that stuff go. You know how sometimes you be like, ate so much food and your stomach start hurting, you be going like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom, because you got so much in your stomach, and your stomach is so full, it's like, oh God, I gotta go to the bathroom, I gotta let it out, right? And when you go to the bathroom and let it out, what happens? You feel what?
Better.
You feel better when you let it all out. So that's what has to happen. I use that because I knew you'd understand that for real, because we all feel like that sometimes. So you got to be sure that you let it out. So whenever you're going through something in your mind, because kids go through things too. How many of y'all know that kids have problems too? Kids have problems too. A lot of times we think as an adult that all their children, they're just playing. It's nothing to it, but kids have problems too. And you always need to have an adult somewhere that you can talk to, that you can tell your problems to. I don't care if it's a problem like you're at school and you can't figure out an algebra problem, like me. I had a problem with that. That's as an adult. So if you have a problem and you can't figure it out, find somebody that can help you figure it out, and find somebody that you can tell your situation to that you're going through. Okay? Anybody have any questions? Any questions about the book? You have a question? You don't, yeah. If you're going to tell somebody, you still need to tell who did it. You can't say, oh, somebody touched me, uncomfortable, somebody is bullying me. You got to say, the chair bullied me at school today. Or I'm just using this for example. Or the rug touched me on my back part. You gotta say it. You gotta tell them, because if we don't know who did it, then we don't know who to approach. Okay, so you gotta make sure you do that. Any more questions? No? You have a question? What's your question? Okay, if you don't have any more questions, we're done with the book. Did you enjoy the book?
Yes.
All right, so you guys, if you don't have this book at home, tell your parents. Mommy, daddy, or whoever raising you, we need to get in the Sandbox from Miss Vivian. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Can I have a big hand, please?